Hi, I'm John Perry. At the Career Technology Expo for high school students at Lake Worth, we're going to take a look at some of the things that you can do if you're getting ready to graduate from high school and you're not quite sure that either you're ready for college or you may not be able to afford college at this moment. Let's take a look at some very successful people who didn't finish college. Bill Gates, for example, a very bright man. He scored 1590 out of 1600 on the SATs. He was enrolled and dropped out of Harvard. 2 years after he dropped out of Harvard, he started Microsoft in 1975. And in 2011, Bill Gates' net worth was $56 billion, the world's second most richest man. Mark Zuckerberg, who we probably know, is a Facebook founder. He dropped out of Harvard after his sophomore year. In 2011, his estimated value was $17.5 billion. Steve Jobs, who recently passed away, the founder of Apple, dropped out of Reed College just after one semester. And in 2011, his net worth was $7 billion. Now, that doesn't mean that if you don't go to college that you're going to be a billionaire, but just basically to understand that there have been some very successful people who have done well in their lives, not just billionaires, but people that are just like you and me that have done exceptionally well. And one of the things that I found is that successful people have very common traits, and some of those are that they think big. They look outside of just what the norm is. They look for something that is very high, very achievable, but you got to really work for it. They have a wonderfully unquenchable thirst for knowledge, constantly learning. Even myself, I spend a great deal of time understanding, learning about new technologies, new things that are in our industry. They take calculated risks, and what I mean by calculated is that they understand that there are going to be upsides and downsides, but they look at it as a whole and say, can I make this work? It's calculated. Most importantly, really most importantly, they truly believe in themselves. There's nothing that they can't accomplish if they put their mind to it. They are certainly driven by passion, passion for their industry, passion for their work, and passion to achieve their goals. And of course, they learn from their mistakes. The vast majority of successful people will probably tell you that they learn more from their mistakes than they do from their successes. Now, just because a person like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs are billionaires and they may not have a formal education, that doesn't mean that they're not educated. Each of these successful people spend their entire lives learning, and even myself, after my education in college, I learn more now than I did probably from any degree that I've gotten. It's constantly staying up on your industry, keeping appraised of what's new, what's coming down the road. Even with a formal education, a job today is not going to be guaranteed. Your level of education, that itself doesn't mean more money. For example, a petroleum engineer that gets out of college with a bachelor's degree will earn about $120,000 a year. Now, contrast that to a social worker who has a master's degree, a higher level degree, they'll earn about $30,000 a year. So what's important is finding what you really want to do, what makes you want to wake up in the morning, go to work, what excites you. Remember, you're going to be working for the next 40 to 60 years, so you really want to pick something that you enjoy doing. So how do you make money in a down economy? People look at it and say, right now, the economy is the worst that it's been since the 1920s. Yes, but there is still a great deal of money to be made. The first thing is look for vital, needed skill sets that businesses are looking for. Things like computers, the internet, healthcare are going to continue to grow over the next decade. And if you can't afford a four-year university or college education, use your community college system. The wonderful thing in Texas about the community college system is that if you take your general studies courses, things like English, math, science, those are transferable to a four-year university or college. If you're looking for a skill or a trait, something that can help you make money, then take classes to help you get into your field. For example, things like Photoshop if you wanted to do graphic design, phlebotomy, which is drawing blood if you want to work in a doctor's office, or accounting 101 if you want to do bookkeeping or some type of data entry. Classes can be online at your community college or anywhere that you can find classes that will help you towards your bachelor's degree or towards a certification program, which is the next bullet. Working towards a certificate in your chosen field, having a certificate in something. It could be, for example, things like Photoshop. They do have certificates or programs for phlebotomists. Whatever it is that you want to do, there are certificate programs. As a matter of fact, TCC has a business certificate as well. Join professional organizations in your area. There are a lot of meetup groups. There are groups that get together that have something in common with what you're looking for. The nice thing about these groups is that you're not only going to get information on what's coming downstream, the cutting edge stuff, but you're also going to meet contacts, you're going to network, and they're going to let you know if there are jobs available. So where you can, find professional organizations in the field that you're interested in. Even if you don't work in it yet, join them, ask them for help and guidance. And don't stop. As you make money, keep reinvesting it in yourself. Get more courses, get a higher level degree. There are some low-cost, no-cost solutions that you can have right now. For example, asking for help. People love to help other people. All you have to do is ask. Ask people that are in the community, that work in business, that are in an industry that you're interested in. Just ask them for help. Learn about areas that interest you. Like I said, a bachelor's degree in petroleum engineering is $120,000 a year, whereas the social worker's at $30,000 a year. So learn about the areas that you might be interested in. What's the growth potential? What's the starting salary? What is the median salary for that particular industry? So that you'll know 5 to 10 years in, how much should you really be making? Apply for scholarships and grants, especially if you're looking in the medical field, for example. They don't have enough people. There are scholarships and grants out there that you can get. Take courses at your community college. Talk to your counselors, your industry professionals, your parents. Get everybody involved. Let them know what it is that you're trying to do to accomplish. Get people to help you and get behind you. Now, the last one I have on here is volunteering. Volunteering is really very important because if you're just starting out, you don't have much of a resume, volunteering provides valuable transferable skills. So if you wanted to work in technology, maybe you might help them build their website or improve it, or you want to do data entry, you may volunteer to help do some bookkeeping. These are transferable skills that you can put on your resume. Plus, when you volunteer, people see you in a different light, a positive light. It's not like you're working beside them at a job. They're actually seeing you roll up your shirt sleeve and doing something for a common good. You expand your connections in the community and the business world by networking with people that you may not otherwise meet. And volunteering is always great because it gives back. For you, I don't think that there is one personal attribute that is most important than keeping a positive outlook, a positive attitude. No one likes people who are downers. People like to be around positive people. So keep positive. Put a smile on your face. Put your best foot forward. Don't speak ill of other people. If you speak ill about a person, they're going to assume that when they're not there, you're going to speak ill about them. What goes around comes around, and you may end up needing their contacts or their network. Dress for success. I don't care what the job is. You could be applying to the local fast food place, grocery store, or automobile repair. When you go in there, dress for success with a smile on your face and a positive attitude. And when you are applying for jobs, ask yourself this one question. What makes me different from the other 20 people applying for this position? You need to differentiate yourself. And the way that you can do that is your dress, your appearance, a smile, a positive attitude, and especially if you've done volunteer work that has those transferable skills. I put up here a few career ideas. These career ideas can often be accomplished either with on-the-job training or through a certificate program. All the data provided here comes from the U.S. Department of Labor, which you can research yourself. No career is guaranteed, so thoroughly research your desired job goals. Here's one here, automobile service technician and mechanic. These are people who inspect, maintain, and repair automobiles, light trucks using traditional equipment and computerized tools. You might start out, for example, changing oil, but later you get your certifications, and the median income for this is about $36,000. Dental assistants, they help the dentist set up equipment, prepare patients for treatment, and they keep the records, about $33,000 a year. Medical assistants, you can read here, they do clinical duties under the direction of the physician, including administrative duties of appointments, maintaining medical records, and they're about $29,000 a year. Pharmacy technicians, this is one where you could start out as a pharmacy technician. If you like it, you can move to a pharmacist. Pharmacists generally, as a full pharmacist, will earn 6 figures a year. But for a pharmacy technician, this is one that's about $28,400 a year. Interpreters and translators. If you're a person who is bilingual and you are able to convert written materials from one language to another or express thoughts and ideas clearly from one language to another, this might be something to interest you. And the median income from this is about $43,000 a year. Network and computer systems administrators. These are everything from local area networks, wide area networks, and maybe monitoring a segment of the network. These are usually fairly well-paid positions, and they're about $69,000 a year for a median income. The military is always an option. Yep, that was me. And what you can learn from the military are leadership skills, transferable skills, whether they're technical or non-technical, and of course the GI Bill for education if going to college is something that you really want to do, but you just can't afford it right now. You can always start your own business. Now, I showed at the beginning, people like Steve Jobs, they started their own business. I could tell you the first business I started, I was in the military, and a friend of mine and I got together and we did wallpapering and painting homes. We wanted to, hopefully that first year, make about $15,000 to $20,000. Now we're talking 2 decades ago. That the first year that we actually did the business, we made $85,000. Now what do you want to look for when you're looking at starting your own business? Something that has a low overhead. Even Steve Jobs started working in his family's garage. Taking out loans or doing other things, probably not necessarily the good first step, but look for something with a low overhead. Low marginal costs. These are the costs that you would incur each and every month when you're delivering your products and services. The lower you can keep these costs, the more money that you're going to take home or be able to reinvest in your business. One of the common low overhead, low marginal cost businesses are things like landscaping or lawn mowing. Whatever you decide to do a great job so that you can go back and ask your clients for referrals. If you do a great job for them, they're going to be very willing to turn over to you some of their friends that may need your service or products. I love this quote. It's probably my favorite quote. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Remember, in your career, regardless of what you choose, if you can conceive it and you believe it, then you can achieve it. If you have any questions, you can contact me through LinkedIn, Google+, Twitter, Facebook Business, which are here on the screen. And of course, I wish you the very best in whatever your endeavors. Believe in yourself, and there's nothing that you can't accomplish. Again, I'm John Perry.